When I was in college, I was fortunate enough to spend 6 months in Europe studying abroad. I'm not sure if your student is considering this incredible opportunity, but if they are, you're going to want to listen to today's video because today I'm going to share what study abroad is, why students should consider it, and I'm going to give you the 5 top universities for study abroad. Hey there, my name is Jocelyn Pearson, founder of the Scholarship System and Debt-Free Degree Lab, where we redefine paying for college to help families build strong financial futures rather than ones buried in debt. Now, we primarily focus on scholarships, but we also come up with unique strategies to help students avoid that crushing student loan debt. Believe it or not, study abroad can be one of those strategies. Now, don't forget to hit subscribe because every single week we release a new strategy beyond scholarships and study abroad to help your family secure that debt-free degree. Now, let's go ahead and dive in. So what is study abroad? Study abroad, it can look very different for every single student. It can be a couple weeks abroad with an organized trip where you're going to different locations, up to an entire semester, half a year, even 1 year, maybe multiple semesters in another country. It can be an official program for out-of-country students, or it can be a transfer program where your student actually swaps spots with someone at the desired university out of the country, and they actually come in the United States university in exchange. So all of these different types of programs means that most students, if they're interested in studying abroad, can find some sort of option that works best for them. Believe it or not, some students can study abroad even during their high school years if this is something that really interests them. So it's not necessarily restricted to those that are in college, though that is the most common time that students do pursue studying abroad. It can be for undergraduate degrees, master's degrees, doctorate degrees. Again, the options are limitless with this amazing opportunity. Now, for me, just to give a little bit of explanation on my own experience with study abroad, I personally had a free ride. In fact, I was getting paid to go to college. I had an overage check every single semester at my home university in the United States. And so for me studying abroad, I actually chose to do an exchange program because with that, you pay the bill at the current university and you just get to attend school abroad. I did not want my financial situation to change. However, many of my fellow abroad classmates, they actually chose to pay an abroad program fee because that was actually saving them thousands of dollars compared to their home university because they were paying for it. So, for example, one student was coming from NYU. Them studying abroad actually saved them $10,000 for the semester. So they just wanted to do a normal abroad program where I wanted to pay my university bill back home. That way I could keep my financial situation. So just to give some ideas on how you can actually use studying abroad to save money for college, it's pretty incredible. So going off of that, why should students consider study abroad? Well, first and foremost, again, it can be an amazing financial opportunity. Studying abroad could save your family thousands of dollars. But beyond that, your student can get such an incredible cultural experience. They can learn another language. They can learn other cultures, other holidays, celebrations. It is such an amazing learning opportunity for students to do this. Another area that study abroad helped me that was a little surprising was in interviews for jobs and internships. Every employer I spoke with was interested in my experience abroad, not only because they know that if a student can do this, then they're going to be a certain amount of open-minded or culturally aware, but also a lot of companies these days have locations across the world and they have exchange programs. So they're open to employees that want to pursue those opportunities. They can send them to their location abroad, get that amazing experience, and then come back. So study abroad was a huge selling point as well beyond college. Comment below, is your student considering study abroad? If so, what school year are they thinking of doing it? I would love to see that in the comments below. And if you'd like, even post the country they're considering. Maybe we have some connections there. Now, while most universities and colleges will offer some sort of study abroad opportunity. Not all are created equal. So we wanted to find the best of the best universities if studying abroad is something that your student is passionate about. Now, before I get into my top 5 colleges, I do want to say that there are scholarships out there for studying abroad. In fact, I received additional money for studying abroad. My sister did. We've helped so many students do this. So you want to look into funding specifically for study abroad if this is something your student is considering. Now, if you're curious on how to find scholarships that are beyond the college reach, then make sure you attend my free training, the 6 steps to securing scholarships quickly for college. I will cover new search methods in there that can also be used for finding study abroad scholarships. So again, make sure you check out that free training. We'll link to it in the description as well. Okay, so without further ado, let's go ahead and get into my 5 universities with the best study abroad programs. The first one is Goucher College. This is a small school, but they actually require study abroad for students to graduate. So they really push this experience. They have about 60 different opportunities in 32 different countries. So lots of different options, especially if your student is thinking about going to a place that's off the beaten path. Now, some of the experiences can be as short as 3 weeks, and some of them can be as long as a year. So the range is very vast here at this institution, which is great for students that aren't sure what they want to do. The second college is Middlebury College. Each year, more than half of their junior class studies abroad. So clearly they really push this. They have more than 40 countries represented, 90 different programs and opportunities. So they really push this, and their students really take advantage of this. Something else to think about there is that also means your student will be surrounded by fellow students that are also interested in travel, learning other cultures, being open-minded. So there also will just be that kind of culture at the university since they do push this. Now, at Middlebury, the faculty actually oversees a lot of the programs, so they can make sure that the credits will transfer back. They make sure that your student is getting that quality experience and education, so that way they continue on with their credits rather than falling behind. Now, the third one is Pepperdine University. This is great for students who want to go a full academic year abroad. While abroad, students actually live in institutions built and owned by Pepperdine. So there is a quality control there, and then they're going to a safe location, an organized location. It kind of buffers them from a little bit of the wild side of study abroad, which can be a positive for some, it can be a negative for others. So this is something to consider, but that is a great opportunity if you want to know where they're going, that they're housed by the institution. In that case, Pepperdine is a great opportunity. Now, you would think that this means that they're pretty limited on options, but actually they have opportunities across 6 continents. Now, the fourth one is Texas A&M. Texas A&M has about 400 programs. That's right, 400 programs for studying abroad. This is the most options that we found. So when we're talking about the world being a student's oyster, Texas A&M really implements that with studying abroad. They have traditional exchanges like what I experienced. They have faculty-led excursions that are shorter term. So they have all different kinds of experiences all across the spectrum here. Another unique experience through Texas A&M is that some students can actually earn credit through an independent experience. So if this student can sell the university on what they're going to learn, why they're going to learn it, the institution will actually give credit. In fact, they also sometimes give funding depending on what the student wants to do. So if your student is someone who wants to do solo travel, but they want to relate it back to their degree, this might be an amazing opportunity for them. Now, the fifth and final one is University of Washington. Many of their opportunities are faculty-led, which again might give that feeling of safety, and for your students some consistency. They know that they have a related faculty member to go to, so this can give a little bit of that familiarity with the home university. They also have a ton of opportunities. In fact, they have over 70 overseas educational institutions and over 200 specific programs. So again, I could go on and on about all the different options, but the idea here is just to see that whatever your student is thinking, they probably have a solution for. And at University of Washington, most likely it's going to be faculty led by someone that is related to the institution. So it's not kind of just sending your student to a university abroad and not sure what the quality is or who will be there. Do they know English? That's kind of taken care of here because they have their own faculty involved. Now, we have an entire blog post with 5 more universities. I mean, there are so many universities across the United States. And like I mentioned earlier, many of them, actually, if not all of them, have some sort of abroad opportunity. So if your student is strongly considering studying abroad, don't think that these are the only schools that they can go to. Check out that blog post, also linked in the description, for 5 more great institutions. But know also, no matter what school they're going to, if this is something that they dream of doing, have them ask the questions, because more than likely they will have some kind of opportunity. Okay, so that said, study abroad, it is amazing. I am a huge fan of it, not only because it is sometimes a financially wise decision, it can actually help students financially, but also because of the cultural immersion, the knowledge they gain, language skills they can acquire, open-mindedness, so many incredible life skills that they can get from study abroad. And like I mentioned, that's also a huge selling point to many employers. So consider study abroad, and if your student is, feel free to comment below. Let us know what they're thinking about doing. Don't forget to check out that other blog post as well as my free webinar. And if your student is considering studying abroad, they can also watch my playlist and some of my videos on essays, because when they're studying abroad, they might have to write an essay to get into an exchange program, which is what I had to do. All right, so lots to check out on the channel. Don't forget to hit subscribe, because every single week we release a new strategy on how to graduate debt-free. I will see you in the next video.